اینها بسته خواهد شد و این تفاهم جدید که بین
The latest status is that regarding almost all the issues that were raised, the roadmap for transit routes, entry and exit routes, or maritime traffic, and the side agreements with Oman, as it's not just a map, basic understandings have been reached with Oman. In other words, significant progress has been made in the talks with Oman, and these advancements are on the verge of being finalized. What is the reality of the matter, and what we have also stated over the past few days, is this: regarding what we are doing with Oman, we have had no discussions or negotiations with the United States in this regard.
تقریبا روی تمامی
The latest status is that regarding almost all the issues that were raised, the roadmap for transit routes, entry and exit routes, or maritime traffic, and the side agreements with Oman, as it's not just a map, basic understandings have been reached with Oman. In other words, significant progress has been made in the talks with Oman, and these advancements are on the verge of being finalized. We were not and are not actually looking to implement Clause 5 of the Memorandum of Understanding right now because the United States has set aside all its obligations, and we, too, have set aside our obligation regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Therefore, what we are doing with Oman is a natural path, regardless of whether a Memorandum of Understanding existed or not. I stated that if we want normal conditions to be established in the Strait of Hormuz, it must be through the path of understanding between Iran and Oman, not through the path of imposition and influence. According to this understanding, the northern route, which was actually created near Larak Island, and the southern route, located in Oman's internal waters, will be closed because these were completely temporary routes. These will be closed, and this new understanding being formed between Iran and Oman, if we wish to enter the implementation phase, will see this new route become operational once those requirements are met. Regarding the new route, a suitable portion of it lies within Iranian territorial waters, and another part lies within Omani territorial waters, meaning that it has been designed so that commercial ships will pass through Iranian territorial waters both on the entry path and, in parts, on the exit path. What is the reality of the matter, and what we have also stated over the past few days, is this: regarding what we are doing with Oman, we have had no discussions or negotiations with the United States in this regard. Regarding the costs, it was envisioned that within 60 days after the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, well, for up to 60 days, Iran would not charge any costs. Now, this entirely depends on that second phase, whether the Strait of Hormuz is open or not, and what the decision of the high-ranking officials of the system will be for the second phase. Because, you see, these are all interconnected. It is not a unilateral commitment where only the Islamic Republic of Iran opens the strait, while the conditions around us remain the same as they were during the war. Well, that is certainly unacceptable for us. If this understanding between Iran and Oman is to enter the implementation phase, it is actually contingent upon the other party fulfilling these requirements. Now, the United States is claiming that we are negotiating with Iran, but there are no negotiations. Of course, we received messages from the U.S. several days ago, and these messages are ongoing, stating that the U.S. is fully prepared to return to its commitments. Look, these have been received.
In a major diplomatic breakthrough, Iran and Oman have reportedly made meaningful progress during their latest negotiations over the Strait of Hormuz. On August 5th, Iran's foreign ministry announced that both sides had reached an understanding on the geographical boundaries of the proposed arrangement. The proposed agreement is aimed at establishing a secure commercial shipping route through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghiai reportedly said Iran and Oman are expected to make a joint announcement on the negotiations soon. However, Iran firmly warned that no third party would be permitted to participate in or influence its agreement with Oman. Iran Foreign Ministry said, and I quote, "An understanding with Oman cannot in itself mean that the strait has become safe for passing vessels, because the factors creating insecurity in the Strait of Hormuz, particularly the U.S. naval blockade and other actions against Iran and its interests, remain in place." Reports suggest that a draft agreement has already been finalized as part of efforts to eventually reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Under the proposed arrangement, commercial vessels would reportedly enter the Persian Gulf through an Iran-controlled shipping lane and exit via an Omani route. Iran and Oman are also expected to levy service fees covering maritime security measures and environmental protection, according to reports. However, the proposed agreement is still awaiting final approval from Iran's supreme leader, Mojtaba, according to AP. In a significant twist, Iranian state media claimed that an agreement with Oman would not automatically guarantee the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. According to IRIB, any Iran-Oman agreement would deal strictly with future commercial shipping arrangements and nothing beyond that. Notably, Iran has firmly rejected any southern shipping corridor through the Strait of Hormuz that is backed or proposed by the United States. Iranian lawmakers have also accused Washington of attempting to impose its influence over the Strait of Hormuz through military threats. Iran further warned that the Strait of Hormuz would remain closed unless the United States completely halted its military strikes. The reported Iran-Oman breakthrough comes shortly after Donald Trump once again issued a fresh warning to Mojtaba. The U.S. president told Fox News that Iran must reopen the Strait of Hormuz or risk renewed American military strikes. Trump said, and I quote, "We were going to a tremendous attack, the biggest since World War II, and they called me and said very politely, 'Please, can we talk?' The strait's going to be open very soon, or they're going to get hit very hard, and then the strait's going to be open." Iran would never have a nuclear weapon. Formal assurances to that effect would be part of any agreement. If Tehran withdraws from negotiations, they're going to get hit really hard. They want to make a deal. We'll see what happens. If they don't make a deal, it's going to be too bad. On August 4th, Donald Trump also claimed that negotiations with Iran were going nicely, suggesting that diplomatic efforts were still making progress.
So we had a very successful event, as you probably know. A lot of good things happened. I have not found out who won the election tonight with Abdul. Who won?
Looks like it's going to go, it'll be a long night.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. That's what I heard. That's surprising.
The GSA co-chair says that socialists are the new face of the party. Is that true for Democrats?
It could be. I would say so. The communists are the new base. Yeah, I'd say so.
Where are we with Iran?
I mean, don't forget, Abdul was way down a few weeks ago. Now I guess it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a horse race.
Mr. President, where are we with Iran?
We're moving along very nicely. We'll find out. We'll know in 48 hours.
Mr. President, what did you say to Denise Europe yesterday in the Oval Office? And how did she explain what happened with you guys?
Well, I just think she was totally wrong. They did a beautiful job. There were a couple of little things, but that was not a big deal. And everybody saw the vandalism. All you have to do is look at the tape. If you look at the tape, plus we have a witness or two witnesses that saw the vandalism. So certainly when there was vandalism, it was actually, in my opinion, it was major vandalism. And I told her I was not happy.
Is she safe? Are you going to keep her in the position?
I haven't made a determination.
Will if more socialists prevail for Democrats, does that hurt Democrats in the midterms so Republicans keep
What?
winning?
What? Does what hurt?
If more socialists keep winning.
Look, they've got a party. It's a mess. I think it's a mess. I think they should form another party, the Communists of America Party. I think they should have a new party, the Communists of America, and it will do well. It'll get about 10% of the vote.
On the Strait of Hormuz, Axios is reporting that it might open as soon as tomorrow.
Could happen. Tomorrow or Thursday. A lot of progress has been made. And they called me and they said, please, let's talk. They want to talk. The funny thing is they never mention that. They always say, we're not talking. But they called. They wanted to talk. We've been talking. They want to make a deal. They do not want to be hit. This was the biggest hit since World War II, as I said. They did not, and they saw it happening. They saw all the goods being loaded. They saw everything. They knew exactly what was happening. And I think it'd be very smart to make a deal. We'll see what happens. They had a very good day. The negotiations were good. The stock market was up tremendously over the last 3-4 days. We set new records today in the stock market. Yesterday, today. I think it's like 78 times now during a very short period of time. So a lot of good things are happening. The trade numbers are phenomenal. You saw that. Our economic numbers are unbelievable, like never, ever before. The investment into our country is at a number that nobody's ever even imagined. We are doing really well. I'll see you on the plane, okay?
Max Miller, can you comment on Representative Miller?
I hope you can work it out. I feel bad.